Poetry for charity is actually something that I'm very proud of. My book, Thoughts on a Page, you could consider it a not-for-profit book because a lot of the profit margin that comes out of the sale of Thoughts on a Page gets put into printing poetry for charity. I came up with the idea after a couple of months of the Thoughts on a Page group on Facebook. The group had grown so large and we had members from all across the world, and what they did was put up their work on the discussion board there, and people go on and they discuss and they leave comments for the writers. And I thought, well, that's good, that's great. I was really happy that the Thoughts on a Page group had turned from being something to promote my book. It had now become something to promote other writers. It had become a community of people that were beginning to, interact with each other using their words. And so I thought to myself, it would be great if your poetry doesn't just stop on the discussion board. Your poetry actually transcends that, and your poetry actually gets used for good, and gets used to help other people who are in need. And so what I did was, for the first volume, was just send out requests through my group to people to donate their poetry, and the aim was to put it together in a collection and sell the collection, and every single kobo from the collection would be given back to 3 charities. And for the first volume, we picked 3 charities that were all from Facebook, and so we had all the writers that were from Facebook, the charities were from Facebook, the poems were all from Facebook as well. So it was trying to help people without really knowing you had that kind of impact with your work or with your words. A lot of the writers really appreciated that fact because, apart from helping the charities, it also exposes the writers to a wider audience of readers, and that's where Poetry for Charity came from. Poetry for Charity currently has its own group on Facebook because it's grown much bigger than I actually envisaged, and the interest in it is what really drives me on. I get asked, to be serious actually, I get asked why I write about things like poverty and not having electricity and generally not living the kind of life that I personally live in my day-to-day life. And my answer is that I want my poetry to be a statement. I wish for it to become something that people read and say, thank God he said that, and thank God he said that, and somebody somewhere read that and felt he had to do something to change the situation at hand. I haven't experienced poverty, and I don't think only people who have experienced poverty should speak about poverty, because they may not be in an arena where they can express it fully. But I can observe and write from the perspective of someone who knows that it's wrong for so many individuals in the country to be poor. If everyone who had enough for themselves just was only concerned about themselves, nobody would speak for the people who are poor. And that is what I intend, or I wish, or I dream that my poetry would become. It would become something that helps people that don't have that voice, or were like me growing up, didn't talk that much. I don't think I'm the most interesting person, if you want to add this, because I've never actually done something like this before. I think that's important to tell the people who are watching this right now. I make poetry videos, I write a lot, and I rarely ever become the character in my videos or my poems. You're not going to find a picture of me. I am not very used to doing that, so I prefer for the words to speak for themselves.